Okay, so we can start the round of 20. 1, 3, 1, Tetris! Everyone has started from what I can tell. So let's hope that we have a couple of really great matches here today. This evening in the last round we have, as I said a couple of times, Toni against Richard and Qlex versus Arden. And we have a first small lead for Richard of about a Tetris, and an even tinier lead here for Qlex, and now for Arden it's a single, so we have neck and neck in the lower game and the upper game. We have a small lead here currently for Richard. Toni's just waiting for the long bus here. The long bus don't come when he could use them. There's a long bus for Toni, Tetris for Toni, and Toni now down to 15,000 points behind Richard. In the lower game, Qlex has just topped out. Ooh, so Arden has just won the first game. And in the chat, there's like 5 people rooting for Arden to win, so she does have quite the big fan base. The upper game, there's now a small lead here for Toni, 7,000 points lead for Toni. Toni having a T-spin, T-tuck for example, set up, not T-spin of course. And now he really wants the TP soon. He doesn't get the TPs, and that's the lead also for Richard. Richard about 15k ahead of Toni. Toni having a tiny bit of more to clean up here in his tech, which could be the chance for Richard to get ahead. Arden and Qlex, are you ready? You ready? Yeah? You ready? Yes. Okay, perfect. Qlex and Arden are ready for the next game, so let's count them down. 3, 2, 1, Tetris! Oh. Apparently, Arden is... okay. Didn't know that. Thanks, chat. Okay, so we now have about a 50k lead here for Richard, down to 30k after the Tetris from Toni. Line-wise, Toni has played 4 more lines. Next triple here for Toni in the lower game. We have a small misstep here for Qlex, who has a tiny lead of about 3,000 points. There's the Tetris for Arden. Now Arden in the lead. In the upper game, we still have a lead for Richard, which is slowly but surely getting smaller and smaller. Toni going for the dirty column 9 Tetris. Well, gets longer, gets the Tetris, and is now down to 7,000 points. Another dirty setup here for Toni, which is a bit worse than the last one. And now Toni in the lead against Richard. Richard soon to be open. Richard open. Toni needs a couple more lines before he is clean again. Qlex just top out, so it's now 2-0 for Arden. And this is quite unexpected. If we remember, Qlex was seed 14, and he hasn't really been able to do anything against Arden. Is there maybe like some technical issues or anything like that? I kind of would believe that immediately, taking into consideration how fast this just went. Okay. Taking the drinks and the sips. Guys and girls and everyone else, don't forget to drink. Drinking is important, keeps your voice clean, keeps you healthy, so always good. In the upper game between Toni and Richard, we have about a 1 Tetris lead here currently for Richard. Yeah, so it kind of feels like Richard takes the lead, Toni falls behind a bit, and then Toni somehow comes back, gets the lead just for Richard to take it back. So it's kind of like a circle of Tetris, you could say, where it's like lead goes from person A to person B, from person B to person A. Which is what we really love. Now it looks like Toni's in the better situation, gets the long bar, gets the Tetris. Richard might be able to go for 30 Tetris, he decides to go against the 30 Tetris. But he could have gotten it now, only a 6k lead here for him. Goes for the triple, up to 11k. Toni now Tetris ready. And I would say after we have the level 19 transition, we can start the next game between Qlex and Arden. Depending on how the transition goes, of course, maybe we also have a simul start. Next, Tetris readiness and Tetris here for Toni. Next Tetris here for... Oh, there was only 2 for Wolfie. Means that Toni is about a 2 Tetris lead against Richard. Next Tetris for Richard. Toni building up the Tetris here, but also both are close to the transition, about 8 lines left for Toni and 10 for Richard. Next Tetris for Toni, 1 more Tetris that Toni can do, and 3 more Tetrises that Richard can do. Next Tetris for Richard. And... Witz set up for Toni! Oh, he doesn't get the Witz, he had to take a burn, which makes the spot a bit cleaner. And he transitions at 355. And 350 for Richard, so 5k transition difference, but Toni got a Tetris. So we now have about a Tetris lead here for Toni. Richard didn't get the Tetris. Toni now on level 20. It looks like the boards are stable, so let's start the countdown. Arden and Alec. Arden and Qlex, are you ready? We have the ready, is perfect. And Richard just topped out. Okay, so we have the 40k lead here for Toni. And Toni just wins the first game. And Toni takes the first victory. They're talking a bit. When Richard is taking off his jacket, he's going to the serious mode. But he has talks a bit with the badge. So, players, everyone, are you ready? Let us start the next game in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. It's currently match point for Arden. Let's see what will happen down there if Arden can win or if Qlex can somehow survive against her. And maybe even get the reverse sweep. There was a small mishap from Toni with the board that he's using, but didn't really cost him anything. We have a small lead here for Richard of about 3,000 points. And in the lower game, we finally have a lead here for Qlex, about a 40k lead for Qlex. 2 Tetrises in the upper game, 1 for Toni, 1 for Richard. Toni now 20k ahead. Arden in a bit of troublesome situation here with the board. Definitely something that is manageable, but she needs another long bar here. Long bar for Arden. Long bar for Arden. There's no long bar for Arden. And that's the top out for Arden, and that's the 2-1. So, nope. To answer the question in chat, only the match between Toni and Richard has the same seed, and Qlex against Arden is the same seed. We just do simul starts when possible because it's a bit more fun and higher intention. We have about a 60,000 lead now for Toni. That's huge. So we have a nice lead here currently for Toni in the lower game. Qlex has started the reverse sweep. The potential reverse sweep. 80k lead now for Toni. We're only 49 deep. That's a huge lead this early on. Next set was here for Toni. Another Tetris here for Toni. Toni again 80k ahead of Richard. And yeah, Arden and Qlex, are you ready? They're ready? Perfect. So we can start the next game between Qlex and Arden here in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. That shows again 18. Oh. Thanks, Ramble, for the flag. I probably completely forgot to update that to Colombia. Thanks. Thanks. That was, sorry, I I did too much at once and I kind of forgot the flag. I was like, oh yeah, it's already correct. No, thanks for reminding me about the flag. So, Richard, you're now also playing for Colombia. Congratulations. 100 KD for Toni. Next head is for Toni. Toni 120k ahead of Richard. In the lower game, Arden has a small lead over Qlex. Arden at 30 against 16 for Qlex. Neither of them Tetris ready. And Arden Tetris ready. Qlex not Tetris ready. Had to take a triple. Tetris for Arden. Tetris for Qlex in the upper game. The lead shrank from 120k to 100k. Next Tetris here for Richard. Next Tetris here for Toni. The lower game, the lead is stable. Next set was here for Arden. The lead just increased. There's a couple of not so nice red Z pieces here for Arden. And that is gonna cost a bit of stack health, but Qlex also doesn't really have the best stack health, so let's see what will happen there. In the upper game, Qlex with a small miss of the red Z piece, then the red L piece, and that's the top out for Qlex. And that's quite the upset here. Arden winning against Qlex, seed 22, winning against seed 14. And I'm gonna say congratulations to Arden for winning the game. Congratulations for Qlex for putting up the fight. And we will now switch to just Toni against Richard. Here close now to the level 19 transition. As we can see, Toni had like all time. Like the whole game he was just at still 100 KD tier for Toni. Toni had a really, really nice position. Next set was for Toni. We saw earlier that Toni's 19 seems a bit better than Richard's 19. Next set was here for Richard, 120 KD for Toni. Next Tetris will come soon. We will also have the 19th position in not that much time. It's 11 lines for Toni and 16 lines for Richard. So potentially 3 Tetrises for Toni and 4 for Richard. Both now subtracted by 1. 2 for Toni, 3 for Richard possible. 140k lead. Tetris and Tetris. 140k lead again. Still. Also, if you look at the points, Toni, 600k! That's 630 position! That's one of the best transitions we have seen today, and we have a couple of really good roaders like Scooty and Dan V here, for example. That's an insane pace. I mean, Richard, 520k transition, that's not bad. But against like 640, what are you gonna do? Next Tetris here for Toni toss with a small misdrop on the left side. Both players having a mostly clean stack here. Small misdrop from Toni, that could be, depending on the next piece, is it? Ooh. This looks really rough now for Toni to dig out of. But he is still 160k ahead of Richard. And there was a T-piece misdrop from Toni. You still potentially know that's the top for Toni. 160k. Richard? Yeah. Richard, you have to catch up about 150,000 points. It's 695 what you need. But I guess that Toni will also be able to keep you updated about the exact score that you need, in the worst case. We have a drought here, 24, 25, 26 piece drought. Yeah, and the crowd just was like, you have to get a couple of Tetrises. Yes, I'm pretty sure that Richard either can't or at least shouldn't just single, double, triple this out. It's not advised to do that when the Tetris rate is getting lower and lower. 140k he needs to get. Single into single. I mean, yeah, you can definitely take a couple of safety singles here and there. Like, need to catch up 140 on the last 6 lines. It's possible. You don't need to get every Tetris ever. But Richard taking it really slow here. maybe now going for the Tetris setup here. No, it looks like he's just going for more and more safety burns. And it's called burns because you burn points when you don't get Tetrises. On the other side, there's a Tetris here for Richard. Finally a Tetris into double. If you look at Toni, it looks like Toni's already prepared to say hi to the 1-1. But Richard's board not looking that great anymore. He needs to start digging here, and well, he has already started digging, of course. Richard digging here quite nicely. And yeah, it's only about 70k. 70k what you need, Richard. So getting really close to the nice 1-1 here. But also level 26, only 27 and 20, and you still have to get 65,000 points. You need at least one, maybe two more Tetrises, and he gets a bit more dirty. Would go for center world here. Center world is dangerous. He's now open on the right side. He has 12 more lines. That's a drought. The worst drought timing ever. 10 more lines. 19, 20 piece drought. It was getting bigger the long, but not when he needs it. And then the red L piece, and he just doesn't have anything. He just can't do anything here. And that's the 2-0 for Toni. Toni topping out at level 21. Richard just not getting the Tetrises that he needed. He tried his best, but it wasn't enough. And that's the 2-0 and match point for Toni. You could say it's the Toni, because toe, really fun. Yeah, and just as the chat says, play, speed, survival, yeah. Look at the Tetris rate, it's 77 against 40%. It's... Oh, I see what you mean, Richard, I think. I can switch that if you want. I will just have to figure out how... Huh? I don't understand how to use this OBS scene, so I'm just gonna say, let's start the next countdown here in 3, 2, 1, Tetris! Match point for Toni. This could already be the end for Richard, but this was quite nice time for the same stack. It's differentiated now. But historically speaking, I would say that Toni gets more points, so you can already see it. Here's the lead for Toni. 1 Tetris for Toni, 0 Tetris for Richard. Toni again Tetris ready, Richard Tetris ready. Tetris for Richard, Tetris for Toni. And the 1 Tetris lead for Toni stays. Richard, Tetris ready. Toni, not yet Tetris ready, but should be soon Tetris ready. Yeah, Tetris ready is for Toni. Small miss drop for Richard. And Richard needs long, but there's the longer for Richard. Nice. And he misdrops the red L piece. That's pretty dangerous up there. He now needs to start nice, really good digs here. He needs another long bar, that's the top out for Richard. That was a pretty unfortunate top out here for Richard. But what are you gonna do? That's the 3-0, the sweep for Toni. And congratulations, Toni and Richard for the game here, the games. And ouch, yeah, everyone in chat is like, no whip. Yeah, that was really rough for Richard. Okay, give me a second. I will update.
Everyone is ready, so you can do the countdown.
Alright, if everyone's ready, then... I swear someone should have like told me what's going on. I have no idea what's going on. Alright, alright, guys ready?
Yes.
3, 2, 1, Tetris! Okay, it works. Oh my god. Can I like...
Oh, did you guys start? Okay.
Oh, was I not meant to start? Was I not meant to start? Were we not? Oh no, it's okay.
On the contrary, I wanted you to start.
Oh, okay.
He did a very
Oh my god! Oh no!
My friend from CTWC.
I did not want to do that.
But very lucky guy, you have plus like money-wise all the tournament.
Just a small bit. Just a small bit.
Even though it's just spectator.
Yeah, yeah.
Me too.
Has to be done.
So this is the round 3. We are gonna have round 4, and then
Okay, I think this is fine. I can hear Tetris noises in my ears, which is not great. But we have Crespo at 59,000, Kanto on 28,000, Piernov 33,000, and EagleNight at 59,000. This is like very scuffed because I just kind of came in here last second, but I'm sure it's fine. We got little 15 starts at the top, 18 on the bottom. Both players at the bottom in a dig. Piernov in a bit of trouble, gets a J over to the left side. Oh, and the miswhip of that T piece, and this could be wraps for Piernov if he can't get an L piece in that column. Gets one, but there's so many holes in the stack. He's going to top out 44,000, and EagleNight is good for game number 1. GG. So, how do I add hearts? I don't even know how to do the hearts on here. Right. Um, how do we do this? Yes. How do I do the hearts?
Heart on screen is on the browser. Wait a second. No. Oh, it's here.
Sorry.
Player 1, 2, 3, so you put hearts here.
Oh, okay.
Which player?
Oh my god. What the hell? Oh my god. Oh god. Why
So you
are
only watch here
there...
and
Where's that coming from? Where is that coming from? I can just hear an alarm. I don't know where it's coming from. Jesus Christ. Okay. Alright, on the bottom. You guys ready? You ready? Alright. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Okay. On the top, we got a bit of a mess for Kanto. He's going over to the left side, gets the J over. Gonna need a piece to the left side. That's an L double. Long bar dependent on the left. It's gonna get the bar over. It's gonna bring this down to 173. Crespo at 299, so pretty hefty lead for Crespo. Over 100,000 points. And get another Tetris there. Let's go to 337. Kanto at 184. On the bottom, Piernov at 74,000. EagleNight at 56 with the long bar dependency on the left side. Blocks it just as the long bar shows up, so now going to need to deal with that. Love an LP to the right side, gets the L piece. He transitioned on the top. Crespo into level 16 at 358, gets a Tetris to 379. Long bar dependent. Kanto gets a long bar down the middle. Still 5 lines away from level 16. Tetris into level 17 with Crespo at 402, so over 200,000 points ahead of Kanto right now, who is in a little bit of a mess. Kanto needs to be careful with this level 16 transition, because that's when the pieces fall at level 18 speed. EagleNight on the bottom with a bit of a mess, but gets a Tetris, a tuck of the Z, and a Tetris again for EagleNight. New transition on the top now for Kanto. 203 needs to dig this down to have any chance of catching Crespo, who's already at 435, and it's a Tetris away from level 19. But Kanto hanging the L piece on the left. It's going to top out 206. Crespo at 463. 250,000 point lead is good. Good game number 1. GG. And I am trying to figure out how to use all of this stuff. There you go. Ready? Yep. Ready? Alright. So game number 2 on the top. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. No Mullins allowed. I mean, there's no. You can, but I don't know if the other person would appreciate it, you know. So Piernov stuck in a little bit of a dig. Oh, it's going to hang the square piece. Tops out at 199. And EagleNight at 219. It's good for game number 2. GG. I'm slowly getting the hang of this. I'm not great at it, but it's working. I'm hoping you couldn't hear the Nestor Champs alarm, because that was going off for about 30 seconds. But I don't think you could hear it, which is good. Alright, so 71,000 for Crespo to start, 50,000 for Kanto. We've got 2 readies on the bottom, so let's get them counted down in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. So right now, looks like all 4 players have stacks that you'd want to see in classic Tetris. No holes in either board at the moment. Just a few delayed burn setups. Tetris for Crespo. 107 to 103 to start on the top. 28,000 to 69,000 for in favor of EagleNight on the bottom. And another Tetris to go to 92,000. EagleNight looking for a quick sweep here, but Piernov going to try and prevent that. And now Kanto in a bit of a sticky situation. Needs some pieces to open up that column 4. Gets a nice J piece there. And is going to put another J piece in that misdrops the S piece. And this could be trouble. And a few more misdrops for Kanto. And Kanto going to top out there at 111. And it looks like Crespo's about to top out as well. But 135 is good enough to hang on for game number 2. GG. That was a close one.
Moi, je reviens à toi. À bientôt.
Okay. Looks like we're still going on the bottom, 129 to 152 in favor of EagleNight. Trying to set up for a dirty Tetris, it looks like. We've got ready on the top for game number 3. So here we go in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. I'm going with the level 15 start here for game number 3 on the top. 156 to 169 for EagleNight. So EagleNight maintaining a slender lead. Very close one here. There's another Tetris for EagleNight. Piernov also set up for a Tetris. And there's a Tetris for Piernov. 181. So only 11,000 points in it at the moment. It is lagging a little bit, but it's still watchable, so it's fine. Tetris there for Piernov, 230 into the lead by 5,000 points. Skim there to get Tetris ready, to stay Tetris ready. EagleNight gonna have to cover the well, opens the well again, but gets the Tetris. 250 for EagleNight, so has taken back the lead. Looks like Kanto's covered the well a little bit. We're good. Looks like I don't know what that issue is, to be honest, but I'm sure it's fine. Piernov decided to burn this stack down. Crespo getting a little bit high, but gets a Tetris. This is level 15 speed, so you have a bit more leeway when it comes to moving the pieces left and right, even with the dash playstyle. Crespo gets long bar over to that left-hand side, and it's going to open the well with that T-double on the left. And it's ready for Tetris. Gets the Tetris, Crespo, 91,000. Kanto at 122. Piernov at 291 to 271 on the bottom, so trading leads back and forth on the bottom. Oh, nice pullback of that L piece by Piernov to get that Tetris without taking the triple. Trying to squeeze out every bit of efficiency that he can. Dirty Sentinel Tetris there for EagleNight, 299. 339 for Piernov. So Piernov managed to open up a tiny lead. A tiny bit of a lead. 59,000 points, about 2 Tetris. And now another Tetris gets 82,000 points ahead, just like that. 384 for Piernov. 325 for EagleNight. Piernov looking for an L piece. Not coming, so just gonna plug it with the long bar. Crespo looking for something for that left-hand side. T or a Z piece would be ideal. But isn't going to get it, so has to create a hole. Is still Tetris ready, though. EagleNight needs something to that left side, gets the J over. And is behind, so can't really afford to top out. But this is getting pretty dangerous, and EagleNight tops out at 372, and Piernov stays alive in this set. At 400,000 points, is ahead. It's now 2-1. GG. Team up 212 for Crespo, 263 for Kanto. Tetris Kanto 282, 213 for Crespo. So Crespo trying to go for a quick sweep here. Okay, we've got readies on the bottom, so here we go in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. So about 3/4 of the way to transition on Kanto's side. Crespo is 10 lines ahead, somehow. So it's going to hit transition very shortly. So Kanto with the score lead and the pace lead. Nice L for that L dependency in the center for Kanto. And it's going to have to take the triple. Didn't want to start building for that dirty center well. Been pretty dangerous. We transitioned on Crespo's side at 268 into level 16, and of course level 16 speed is the same as your traditional level 18 speed. Crespo covering the well as the long bar showed up. Would have only been good for triple. There's a split triple there down the right hand side for Crespo. 281 to Kanto at 337 gets that column 9 perforate transfer into level 16. So off and running on level 18 speeds, both players on the top now. Kanto with a 74,000 point lead. Piernov 107 with that Tetris. Only ahead by a single and some pushdown points, it looks like. Kanto Tetris ready here on level 16. And waiting to see if he gets his Tetris. Misdrops the S-piece in the center. And is able to get the long bar over for that Tetris. And gets another Tetris to go to 403. So some quick Tetrises for Kanto. But this board isn't looking amazing. Crespo into level 19 at 303, so it needs to score at least 100,000 points on level 19 speeds. Kanto's not done yet, still trying to survive, but hangs that J on the left, and I think that's going to do it. And Kanto tops out 400,000. So Crespo with a 100,000 point chase down needs 406 to complete the sweep, but this is getting dangerously high, tops out. It's not going to be able to chase him down. And at 307 is going to miss the sweep, and Kanto gets game number 3. GG. So on the bottom then, we have 188 for Piernov, 214 for EagleNight. EagleNight with about a Tetris lead. Both players at the exact same line count at the point I was saying that sentence, but they are no longer at the same line count. Right, we have two readies on the top, so game number 4, let's get it underway in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. On the bottom, we're continuing to head towards the 100 line mark, which is where you want to start thinking about the level 19 transition. 267 for EagleNight with a Tetris at 290. So about a 2 Tetris lead over Piernov, who's at 246 currently at 83 lines. Both players at 83 lines. Yeah, I hope I'm audible. Giovanni Ostuni. Is this Dan commentating? It is Dan commentating, yes. Holy crap, you can't text. Don't worry. It's okay. Hello, Gio. I got kind of thrown into here. I don't really know what I'm doing. But it's fine. You can hear me. Maybe that's a bad thing, though. Maybe you don't want to hear me. Just vibing? Yeah, I'm just here chilling. Hello, Yelena. I hope you're good. Piernov, long bar dependency, gets the long bar, fills that in. Is 100,000 points behind now. I didn't even see how that happened. But there's a Tetris for Piernov, 283. EagleNight at 365, so trying to finish Piernov off here, but Piernov not going to go down that easily. Tetris for EagleNight, 391, double ZT dependent, and now double long bar dependent after those two, after that L burn. So we're going to have to see how EagleNight's going to deal with this one. Oh, and that long bar placement, the T and the 3 wide is going to cause a long bar dependency. So let's see if EagleNight gets long bar, misdrops it, and tops out at 394. So Piernov, to take this to a decider, you need 314. So about 80,000 points of a chase down. It's not free with level 19 approaching, but it's managed to clean up the stack. And a perfect piece for the left-hand side. Oh, and Kanto hung the long bar on the right side and topped out at 77,000. And Crespo going to take game number 4. Pretty unexpected there. Didn't even notice what happened. Also focused on the chase down on the bottom, but that's going to be it for the top game. Crespo is going to move on after 4 games. So GG. I don't know what happens if I press this. Oh, there you go. There's a smiley face for Crespo. That's exactly what Crespo looks like in real life. He just looks like a smiley face of Tetraminos. But Piernov, 30,000 points away from this chase down. Stat getting a little bit messy, but is more than capable of bringing this down and singling his way to completing this chase down. But Longbar dependent in the center. Needs something for the left. Gets the J piece to the left-hand side. He's 24,000 points. And now J and Longbar dependent. Oh, hangs the Longbar. And Piernov not going to be able to make the chase down. Tops out at 369. And we're going to go to a decider. Little bit of a shock there. I wasn't expecting that. I'm sure many people at home probably weren't expecting that either. But this is going to go to a game number 5. As Piernov takes game number 4. GG. Is there a way I can do a 2-player scene? I don't know.
Thanks for the comments.
Oh wait, no, it's not a decider. What am I talking about? I'm stupid. Lol. It is not a decider because it was over. I'm dumb. It's 3-1. If he completed the chase, that would have been decider, but he did not. It is 3-1. Alright, GG's. I don't know what's happening next. I don't have like a bracket or anything. But yeah, I think I am done here. So yeah, it's been me, Dan V. I don't know what's happening next. I'm going to try and find someone that does know what's happening, and we'll get them over here. Let's also do this too, because it's funny. There you go.